Hi girls and guys, it's Ladyillyriia here, and this is my first video for Agents of Dust. The game is called This War of Mine. Unfortunately this is just before the children's add-on came out, the DLC. But the game is, you're not a soldier, you are a civilian, and you have to survive by going out and getting supplies, medicine, risk being jumped by other people there like bandits, etc. In this game mode I am doing my story, which means I can make my own little characters up. I've gone for winter coming early, which could be a mistake, and the harshness is moderate. I've decided to go with 4 characters to start with. I was torn between 4 or 5, obviously, because we are a team of 5, are the Agents of Dust. But in my team I have myself, couldn't fit in Ladyillyriia, so it's just Illy. I've chosen a pharmacist for my character. I'm not actually sure if what their previous jobs actually mattered, but I've tried to have a quick look to see what everyone could have. So I'm a pharmacist. I have Agent GentlemanMaj joining me, and he is a psychologist. Can't get my tongue around that word. We also have SashaTheBugEye. Should be SashaTheBugEye, but that wouldn't fit, so she's just the bug, and she is a photographer. And we also have Savage Dragon. Again, I couldn't quite fit in his name, so he is now Savage Drago, and he is a computer specialist. So let's see how we go. This is day 1. War has been raging for countless months, and the besieged city has been reduced to a sea of ruins by constant shelling. Going outside during daylight is like inviting snipers to target practice. Everything is in short supply, and what little aid reaches the city is seized by the most ruthless and best armed. Few residents were lucky enough to flee. The unlucky ones who missed the last refuge convoy are left to fend for themselves, ordinary people huddling in the ruins, relying only on each other to survive. To start day 1, I looked through all my characters, and I noticed that Illy is slightly sick. I'm not sure why. We searched the entire building looking for supplies. This includes digging through the rubble and breaking down doors. There are also locked doors that we need lockpicks for. Thankfully, during our search we find 2, and we use one of them on the upstairs door, and on the other one in the cabinet inside that room. We still need 2 more. Now that we have resources, the first thing I decide to make is a stove, mainly so that we can cook basic meals, and logic dictates that I put it in the room that looks like a kitchen. While I'm making the stove, I decide to make a bed. The bed will help with rest, and it also helps improve them if they do get poorly in the game. At night time we have to decide what we're going to do. Unfortunately the first bed wasn't made, so 3 of our characters will be sleeping on the floor whilst one of them goes out scavenging. On this occasion I've chosen SashaTheBugEye. We only have a few places that we know at the moment, so we're going to start with the abandoned building in the hope we don't bump into anyone. When we're searching we see red flashes, that shows movement, and we have a little peek through the door, but thankfully it's just a rat. Tonight's priority is food. We need food in order to survive and to remain healthy. Whilst we're looking we find a family photo of those that used to live here and hopefully escaped healthily. We have no shovel, so any rubble we see at the moment we have to dig through slowly. Thankfully we've got a really good haul tonight, and we have plenty of food, sugar and water, with some basic materials as well. SashaTheBugEye returns with her great haul to discover that GentlemanMaj is becoming unwell. Now it's day 2. The first thing on our plan is to make food for everyone, and thankfully we have enough to make fuel for 4 meals. Also, due to the fact that we were struggling with the rubble while we're out and about, we've decided to make a metal workshop. Metal workshops can make many things, but they can definitely make shovels. We do not have enough materials to make anything else, even though we desperately need beds, but that's unfortunately we have to wait for another day. The people are starting to complain about the cold, even though it's currently 13 Celsius and it's going to get a lot colder. It's the end of day 2 and still we have no bed. We have to decide what we're going to do. Unfortunately, without the bed, as I said, 3 of them will be sleeping on the floor. A very uncomfortable night again. This time Savage Dragon's going to go out scavenging. We desperately need some medicine for both GentlemanMaj and Illy. Plus many materials are needed to make more items, and especially build up our temporary home. Having a quick look at the locations we can go to, Savage decides to go to Shell Cottage, mainly because it says it has lots of meds there. As always, when we first get there we peek into the building just to make sure there's no enemies in there. We've no idea what dangers we may face yet. We always take the food we find, so we have food and herbs, and thankfully we find one lot of meds, unfortunately not two. We then continue to search and we get some wood, components and parts. Hopefully we'll be able to make something tomorrow when we get back home. There are locked doors and cabinets. One day we might come back, so hopefully that day we'll have lockpicks with us. We head back home, avoiding any danger. We are safer tonight. It's day 3 and Savage Dragon has returned from his night of scavenging. We decide that we're going to start the day by making 2 lockpicks. We want to discover what's in the rest of this building. After this is made, while we are looking around still, we finally make that much needed bed. While we're making the bed, we decide to get more fuel so we can cook dinner. Unfortunately, when we go to cook dinner, we realise the importance of water. We don't have enough to make any meals. No one's going to get to eat today. With the one lot of meds Savage brought home last night, we decided to give it to Illy, as she has been sick much longer than the others. Someone knocks at the door. Will this help us? Will they attack us? What should we do? We decided to check it out anyway. We are desperate for everything at the moment. Thankfully, it's a trader. We now have to look through all our supplies and see what we have, to see what we can trade. What are we willing to give up and what do we want in return? It's getting colder. It's only 8 Celsius now. We really need a stove, so we decide to try and get some wood and components. We trade jewellery for the wood. Jewellery's not important anymore. We don't care about that. But then we reluctantly have to trade herbal meds and electric parts for the components. We were going to leave the trade there, but we decided that we really could do with fuel and water in order to cook for the rest of the day. And as such, we trade the rest of our electronic parts. We hope that's not a mistake that's going to bite us in the ass later on. As we're quickly looking around the house, we noticed another mistake we made. Back on day 1, we started making a bed. We assumed because the day ended, it wasn't finished, and we lost those parts. But now we can continue it, so we finally make a second bed. Savage Dragon, after spending the night scavenging, is now sleeping all day. Unfortunately, SashaTheBugEye is now sick. We've no idea why, maybe because it's getting colder. While searching the last lot of locked sections in our house, we find one more lot of meds. This goes to GentlemanMaj, as he's been sick longer than Sasha. We only have enough food for 2 meals. After a difficult choice, we give it to Sasha and GentlemanMaj. Now the really big decision time comes. We really need a stove, but then we also really need some water. After deciding, we're going to go for water. This could be a mistake, but at the moment we want to cook food, and hopefully we can make a stove another day. We make the rainwater collector and we find the filters. Well, we make the filters and we try to collect water, but the day ends and we didn't get any today. Hopefully tomorrow. It's night 3 and 3 of them are sick, so they are to remain in the shelter, which only leaves Savage Dragon to go out and scavenge again tonight. As GentlemanMaj is recovering on his meds, we've decided that he takes the floor, while SashaTheBugEye and Illy get a bed each. Lucky them. We're very torn on what to go to. Should we go back to the abandoned cottage, or should we head to Old Town? We decided that although they both have meds, the cottage, the meds may be behind the locked doors, and we do not have any lockpicks yet. So we're going to head to Old Town. This is our first time heading there, so we are going to peek through all the doors at every opportunity. We suddenly see a red dot coming towards us. Thankfully it's just a rat. We're safe at the moment. Whilst looking around, we discover that people have used this as a refuge already. Are they still here? Have they left anything that we can possibly take if they're gone? We find lots and lots and lots of little bits. We find a little bit of wood, some cigarettes, parts, weapon parts, electronic parts and components. We also find more locked doors, and one that even needs a saw to open. We will have to come back another day and find out what's behind there. Okay guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this so far. If you did, please give it a like. Obviously check out all the rest of the agents videos. They will be up on different days every week. And if you're enjoying this or anything else that any of us are doing, please subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye.